going on, beauties, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Essence, and in today's video I am going to be filming a quick, easy fall everyday makeup tutorial. So it's like my everyday makeup tutorial but fall edition. I really hope you guys enjoy it. I know that majority of my makeup tutorials here on my channel are very toned down, and I kind of wanted to stay in that same line of work of it being toned down but just not toned down too much, but still everyday friendly and wearable. So that's what I created today. If you guys have been keeping up with me, you know I haven't been wearing makeup on an everyday basis, but whenever I do get glammed up and ready for the day, if I'm doing something on an off day, this is pretty much what you're gonna get. Now before we get into today's video, if you aren't subscribed, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you click that little bell so you can be notified every single time that I upload. And in case you missed it, my new upload days are every Wednesday and Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So those of you who live California side, it'll be 2 o'clock. And those of you who live on my side of the world, it'll be 5 o'clock. That's 10. 5. So with that, let's just zoom you guys in a little bit closer so we can break down how we achieved this look right here. Alright, so now that we have you nice and zoomed in, can we just take a minute and just focus on the fact that I feel like my skin is showing signs of improvement. I did go and get a facial about a couple of days ago, and I'm so happy I did that. I definitely booked another appointment for 6 weeks out to go back and get another one. But in the meantime, you know, I'm taking the steps to do what I need to do to maintain it, which I won't get into in this video, but I just wanted to put that out there. Like, I feel like my skin's starting to finally improve, and I'm happy about that. Now, with that being said, let's start with the eyes. For today's look, I am going to be using the Kylie Cosmetics Sipping Pretty palette. And in this palette, I'm mostly just going to be focusing on the neutral shades, not so much all these bright colors. But for the look I have in mind today, I could create this look honestly with this palette, with the Urban Decay palette. It's not just meant for this palette alone, but I just chose to use this palette in today's video since I don't pull it out that often. So I did prime my lids with this NARS Soft Matte Concealer. You guys know this is like my holy grail concealer to use. I absolutely love it, and it works very, very well. I did not set down with any translucent powder today. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. To me, it really doesn't make the biggest difference unless you're working with the palette that the eyeshadows like tug on your eye or skip or miss or anything like that. I haven't found any issues with not setting my lid and using this palette right here, so we going in without any powder. But definitely feel free to set down your lids if you need to. So unfortunate for me, this palette does not have shade names, so I'm gonna just point them out to you. But I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, and I'm gonna take this on an M441 brush, and I'm gonna tap that off. There is quite some kick up in the pan. And I'm going to rock this shade back and forth in my crease as my transition shade and just really work that in my crease. This shade is a little bit more peachy toned, so you don't need too much of this. Again, it's just serving as a very, very light transition shade. And then we're going to add an additional shade in our crease just to kind of make it a little bit more brown and a less more pink. Using the same brush, I am gonna dip into this one right over here. This one is definitely a little bit more brown and neutral. I could have just started with this, but it is what it is. And I'm gonna mix it in with the previous shade just to tone down that peachiness a little bit, because I don't want it to be too bright or peachy. And I'm gonna rock this back and forth in my crease as well. So the one thing that I really, really love about this palette, or this look rather, is that it can be super, super effortless, you know, and I feel like that's what makes it better. You know, the more effortless, the better. But I am also going to make sure that I'm blending out the edges because, you know, you do want that nice seamless blend. So I am going to go back into the palette in that same shade, dip back in there and just intensify it just a little bit more. Not too much more, because we are going to add other shadows on our lid. But just kind of blow this out a little bit more. So now that we have that on there, I am now going to grab a little bit of this shade right here. Not the shimmer, this one right here, the matte one. And I'm going to take that on this JH40 brush. And it's very small, very detailed. And I really like this brush for like really detailed work. But I'm going to start pressing this in the outermost part of my eye and just kind of blending that up into the crease. Still not obviously above the previous two shadows that we put down because those are a bit high and I don't want to cover that shadow up. Also, it's kind of nice that this shade kind of blends in a little seamlessly with the other shades that we laid down. And the one thing about this palette that I can definitely say is these shadows truly pack a punch, so you don't even need to dip back in the pan too many times. So just be very careful and very light-handed. If you're a beginner and you're like working with these shadows, you don't want to put on too much. So I'm just focusing this on the outer corner and blending upwards. So now that we have that nice and laid down, I am going to grab this shade right here, which is a little bit deeper than the previous shade that we used. And I'm also going to place this strategically, kind of like on the outer corner in the same area that we put that other shade down, just to intensify it a little bit more, kind of create a little bit more depth. And just stick it right here on the outer part of my eye. I feel like what I love most about this look, or this palette even, is that these shadows are very similar, but not similar enough to where it doesn't have like a little bit of difference to where you can create like depth in the look and stuff. But it makes it super easy to create because they are similar and they just blend together so effortlessly. Like, I just really love it. Just creating dimension with shadows that are similar in color. So I'm just making sure everything's all blended on nicely. I'm going to go back in with that M441 with no additional product on the brush and just kind of blend out the outer corner area. Because again, you want that nice seamless blend. You don't want it to be choppy or anything. You just go back over it and just make sure everything's blended out nicely. Alright, so for this last shade, you can definitely choose to cut your crease if you want to. But like I said, it's supposed to be effortless, and cutting the crease can be a little difficult sometimes, especially for me. Like, I still find it hard sometimes to get like the perfect cut crease. So I'm not cutting my crease. I'm just going to place a shimmer shadow, kind of like in a cut crease formation, without actually cutting the crease. I'm going to take this one right here. And this one is very similar to the one in the Urban Decay palette. Like, I think this shade is just like super stunning. And definitely very fall with its little orange, bronzy undertones. So I'm going to pick this up on a flat brush. Any flat definer brush that you have will work. And I'm first going to lay the shadow down dry. Because honestly, you don't necessarily need to wet it. Like, that's how beautiful this shade is. So I'm just pressing this on the inner part of my lid and kind of bringing it up. Like, how beautiful is that shade? Oh, I love it. So if you wanted to create a little bit more depth, you can grab this shade right here. And it's kind of like the darkest shade in the palette aside from the black, and you can just press that on the outer corner as well and just kind of blend that in with the shimmer shadow, just to create a little bit more depth. I'm not going to use too much of this because it does pull a little purple. Need a little sip of coffee. Because if y'all didn't know, it's earlier than I normally like film. So that is all I'm gonna do for the eyes for now. I will come back to it a little bit later, but we are gonna move on to the face and the skin and all that good stuff. Now at this point, I would apply SPF, and two reasons why you're not gonna see me apply it in today's video. One, I already applied it when I did my skincare, and two, it's not a product that I would necessarily recommend to you guys. so I'm not showing you. I do use it obviously because my skin does need the SPF. It's super important, so make sure you're applying yours. Invest in a good one. I did order the Ulta MD sunscreen. It is a physical sunscreen versus a chemical, which I like better. So I can't wait till I get that in. I'll show you guys how I apply all of that when that comes in. But for the one that I'm using now, I'm using it because it's protecting my skin, but it's not my favorite. So for primer today, I am going to go in with my Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. I've honestly been loving this little mini bottle and it's almost out. The Jelly Pop Primer from e.l.f. I heard good things about. Obviously, it's something that's highly raved about on YouTube and just the people that I know in general that wear makeup. But it is limited edition and I have not gotten it. So, I don't know. We'll see if I get lucky enough to purchase that primer before they stop selling it. So to put on top of the primer today, I am going to use some translucent powder. This is just the Wet n Wild translucent powder. I don't always use that Maybelline powder, the one that's actually a foundation. I've been experimenting with using different types of powders, like whether it's colored powder, translucent, foundation powder. The only thing I haven't tried is banana powder, which I don't think I would. I'm just going to set a light layer of this just to kind of set that primer. Now you could opt not to obviously set your face. If you guys have been watching my videos, you know that this technique is one in which I fell in love with. And like a lot of things here on my channel, late to the trend as always, but it's all good. Foundation of choice is the NARS Natural Radiant. I love, love, love this foundation. So I'm just going to take a pump of this on the back of my hand and then dot this on my face before I blend it in with my beauty sponge. I don't know. I apply, my makeup or like my foundation differently. Not every time, but sometimes like I'll switch it up and then I'll do it like that for a while and then you guys know. So dot, dot, dot. So now I'm just taking my clean beauty blender and just pouncing this into the skin. With this foundation, I feel like it's easier for me to do it like this because it is full coverage if you want it to be. But for a little less coverage, for a little bit more sheer, but still like covering as much as you need it to, it's really good just to dot it on your face, blend it in, see what you need, apply it, and be done. It also helps me to apply less product on my forehead because I really don't like to apply too much product up here because I really don't need the coverage that much up here. It just depends on the shade that I'm using when I'm putting on my foundation. But see, that looks nice and good. Nice even layer and it's fully covered. For concealer, I'm going to apply my Fenty Beauty and this is in the shade 350. If you guys know how bright my Shape Tape is, then you'll understand what I say, or what I'm saying, when I say that I prefer more of like a skin-like concealer now. Like I don't like it to be super brightening. It's just not my thing anymore. I did use the Tarte Shape Tape the other day when I filmed. And even when I filmed that video, in my head I was like, whoa, this is a little bright than what I've been doing. But it's still a great concealer. I just prefer something a little less brightening. Still brightening, just not as intense. So of course I'm just gonna take my sponge and blend this all in. You could, if you wanted to, add a little bit of setting spray before I blend the rest of this in. You could add a little bit of spray. I'm just gonna spray a little bit of this. This is the Dewy Mist, or Dewy Set, sorry, by Anastasia. But you could spray a little bit of that and then use that to help you blend out your concealer, but also to give your face a little bit of glow, a little bit of dewiness as you're blending it out. You could also do that before you blend your foundation in. I feel like you're actually working the setting spray into the skin instead of just like layering it over your makeup. I find that only with certain concealers can you leave it on your face for a little bit and then blend it out, and it kind of gives like that extra coverage, versus something like this, you let it dry and it's like super hard to blend out. So that also helps just to keep things moving along. And now we're gonna set our T-zone. I am gonna use the Milk Makeup Setting Powder. This is their Blur and Set Powder. I actually have not used this in a while, so I'm kind of excited to use it because I did like it when I used to use it. It's just I've been using so many other powders. Just taking a light layer. I'm not baking or anything. I just really want to set this powder down and just get it nice and matte. Especially since I get like super oily in my T-zone, especially by my nose. And girl, it's getting cold. It's getting so cold that it's supposed to snow this coming week. I'm like, what the heck? We just entered November. Can the snow wait till December or no? Guess not. I'm not ready. I'm so not ready. Now to set the perimeter of my face, I'm gonna go in with the powder that I obviously don't know how to put down, and that is my Sephora Micro Smooth Powder. This is in Matte Tan. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this on a Japanese powder brush. It's like super soft. You know, funny thing is when I bought this brush, thought it was for foundation. But when I read the box when I got home, it said it was for powder. And it's like definitely too soft for foundation in my opinion. So, powder it is. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are nice and matte, just the way I like it. So now I'm gonna dip into this Too Faced Cocoa Contour palette, and I'm gonna grab Dark Cocoa right here, which is the deepest shade in this palette. And I'm gonna use this to bronze up my lovely cheeks. So I'm just gonna take this on a, whoa, that's like a little red, but it's okay. This is the powder brush from Real Techniques. This was definitely a little more red than I remember. Okay, but we still want to use it anyways. I think it complements the eye look. It's so crazy to me because I was thinking the other day, like just one of my random thoughts that I think about, how I used to just be addicted to one bronzer and one bronzer only, and now I just use so many I can't even keep up. Like, girl, slow down. And I am going to use my Hoola Benefit to contour my nose. This one definitely is a little bit more cool tone, so hopefully it doesn't look crazy. But I don't like a deep contour on my nose. Just like to do a little something something. So for blush, it wouldn't be a fall everyday makeup look without using the Burt's Bees blush in Toasted Cinnamon. It's like the perfect brown. I really love this blush. Like I've grown to just like love it. Probably a little bit too much. So we're gonna dip into this. It does have a lot of kick up, so just keep that in mind. And I'm gonna apply this to the apples of my cheeks. It's okay if you're like me and you apply a little bit too much. Blush is honestly the first thing to like fade on your face, so it's okay. And for highlight, I'm finally gonna use the Dandelion Twinkle highlight from Benefit. If you guys remember, I picked up this highlight, was gonna use it in a video, but I felt like it didn't match the overall look. This one I feel like really goes with the eyes. So we're gonna use a little bit of this. I feel like it's subtle, but it's still very glowy to where like you can definitely see it. And it's definitely not that golden highlight I typically always go for, which I'm not gonna lie, almost went golden today. I don't know, I feel like golden highlights complement my skin tone a lot better. While we're here, I am going to just take a little bit of this highlight and apply it to my brow bone. I'm also gonna apply this to my inner corner. I know we haven't done our bottom lash line yet, which I'm going to do right after this. A little sparkle in the eyes. And then we can work on our lower lash line. So basically what we're going to be doing is taking all the shades that we used at the top and just bringing them down to the bottom. And if I can find a brush to use. So I'm not going to go in with the first shade. I'm going to take this one right here, the second shade that we used. And I'm going to run this on my lower lash line and just kind of connect it to the top. Taking the JH40 brush, I'm going to dip into this one right here. And I'm going to blend that on my lower lash line as well. This is really giving it a nice smoky effect, and I really like that. If you don't want to drag it down too much, you don't have to, but it's just the look that I like and go for. So, and finally I'm going to go in with this one. I'm not going to use the darkest shade. Actually, you know what? Why not? I'm just going to run this one down there first, and then, actually no, I'm not going to use the darkest shade. So for mascara, I am going to use my Tarte Big Eagle mascara. It's just what I've been using, I've been loving. I use it every single day. This is something that I actually use every single day because I do wear mascara to work. So I'm going to put this on, and I'm also going to put on some lashes. I'm debating between these House of Lashes and the style. What's the style? Marigold. So these ones right here, which are very nice and everyday friendly, or the Nicole Guerrero and Allure, which I know you guys can't get this in stores anymore. I don't think. I have not seen them since. So I might just put on these ones because you guys will be able to find them. We'll see. But I'm going to do all of that, and then we'll be back to finish off the lip and set our face down, because I think that's all we have left to do is our lip, set our face down, and that's it. Okay guys, we're back. Lashes are on. I did end up going with the Marigold lashes. Well, that's the style. It's the Sephora collection and House of Lash collaboration. Wow, almost forgot the word. But their collaboration together, Marigold, those are the lashes I have on. And the reason why I went with these is because I want you guys to be able to go out and get the lashes if you choose to, or any product for that matter that I'm using in my video. So I felt like if I went with the Nicole Guerrero lashes, as beautiful as they are, you guys probably wouldn't be able to find them. So that's my reason behind that. Also, I did do my bottom lash line with a little bit of mascara, just used the L'Oreal Telescopic. And for liner, I used the LA Girl Perfect Precision Liner in Nude, just to kind of brighten up my eyes a little bit. Now for the lovely lip, I'm going to be applying this Makeup Revolution. This is a lip pencil that came with an actual lipstick, kind of like that Kylie lip kit situation. And this is in the shade Noble. And I'm just going to use this to line my lips really quickly. Not going to fill them in too much. You guys can see already by me drawing the line at the bottom, it definitely matches the eyes, and that's why I chose to go with this pencil. Right in the center, I'm just going to dab a little bit of the Infallible Pro Matte Liquid Lipstick from L'Oreal. And this is in the shade Sweet Tooth. So I'm just going to take a little bit. Unlike other people, I have very tiny lips, so I don't need too much. I'm going to use this little lip brush to help me out. And I'm just going to blend it in with the lip liner. I feel like that secondary shade, or the liquid lipstick itself, just really helps to brighten up the lip liner just a little bit, and it just makes it the perfect lip combination for this eye look. And then finally, we're going to set our lovely face down, and I am going to use the Urban Decay The Slick All Nighter Spray because I want my makeup to be locked in place all day. So I'm just going to spray that really quickly. And just like that, you guys, this is the finished and final makeup look. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. So make sure you sound off and let me know your thoughts, your opinions, all that good stuff down below. I really love this look. I know it's not a huge change in pace for what I normally do on my channel. You know, majority of my looks are already toned down as it is, in my opinion. I mean, I do some like really not dramatic, but just like really bold looks, but I feel like this is like the perfect medium, but still being everyday friendly and wearable. So I really hope that you guys, you know, are on the same page with me, because I really feel that way. definitely everyday wearable. I mean, it's something that I obviously would wear, but I hope you guys feel like you can feel comfortable wearing this too on an everyday basis. To me, I feel like it's simple, it's quick, it's easy, and it's really just to the point. And again, super effortless and just easy to achieve. What more can I say? What more can you ask for an everyday glam kind of makeup? So with that being said, I don't have much else to say other than I love you guys so much. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys super soon in the next video or vlog, whichever one comes first.